Put aside everything you believe you understand about reserving a cruise, as your 2026 voyage may transform into an entirely different experience before you actually depart. The cruise industry is discreetly implementing substantial modifications. These aren't simply about upgraded buffet options or additional water attractions. We're discussing significant alterations to your loyalty program standing. Fresh undisclosed charges for previously complimentary services, and limitations on your beverage package availability. While certain modifications may prove beneficial, others will likely frustrate you considerably. I'm revealing all 6 surprising modifications arriving in 2026. Believe me, understanding these details before making your next cruise reservation is essential. Number 1. Major Loyalty Program Overhaul. Let's begin with one of the most significant developments for 2026, the substantial transformations affecting cruise line loyalty programs. This matters tremendously because it directly influences how you accumulate benefits and achieve status levels. Your response may vary greatly depending on which cruise line you prefer. Now for the positive developments. The Royal Caribbean Group recently made an announcement that has genuinely enthused cruise passengers. They're implementing a novel system named Points Choice. The mechanism operates as follows. Beginning in early 2026, sailing with any of their affiliated brands, Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, or Silver Sea, allows you to select which loyalty program receives your earned points. As a Diamond-level Royal Caribbean member taking a Celebrity voyage, you can continue accumulating points for your Royal Caribbean standing. The system works identically in reverse if Celebrity is typically your choice but you sample Royal Caribbean. We've never witnessed this degree of program flexibility before, and it genuinely creates a sense of interconnection among their loyalty programs. Royal Caribbean had implemented minor loyalty adjustments in past years, but nothing approaching this level of integration. Remember that Points Choice exclusively applies to reservations made following the launch date, meaning earlier bookings won't qualify. Nevertheless, this represents an intelligent strategy that acknowledges variety without disadvantaging those who switch between brands. Now let's transition to a modification generating far more controversy. Carnival Cruise Line is eliminating its established VIFP program, replacing it with Carnival Rewards, which launches on June 1, 2026. The major transformation: rather than achieving status through cruise nights accumulated, your tier will depend on your total expenditure, your fare combined with onboard spending. Numerous critics characterize this as a spend-based model. You'll accumulate stars toward tier advancement and distinct points redeemable for onboard credits and price reductions. While some passengers appreciate having additional earning opportunities beyond time spent at sea, others contend it disadvantages shorter or more economical voyages. Following significant backlash, Carnival offered one crucial compromise. Existing Platinum and Diamond tier members retain their status through the launch date, and anyone achieving Diamond status prior to June 2026 maintains lifetime Diamond privileges. Despite this, numerous dedicated cruisers feel abandoned and are considering departing from Carnival completely. One must question whether competing cruise lines are observing quietly, contemplating whether they can similarly connect loyalty programs more directly to passenger spending rather than sailing duration. Number 2. The gradual fee increase phenomenon. Let's address something offering fewer rewards and actually increasing passenger expenses. Additional cruise charges and supplementary fees are emerging for 2026. Among the most discussed modifications comes from Norwegian Cruise Line, which now imposes a $5 charge for requesting an additional entree in the main dining venue. Norwegian claims this policy aims to minimize food waste, though many passengers interpret it as another nickel-and-diming tactic. To provide context, Norwegian isn't pioneering this type of charge. MSC Cruises maintains a comparable policy, while Carnival implements a $5 fee exclusively when a third entree is requested. Passengers can still request unlimited appetizers, soups, salads, and desserts. Naturally, the buffet remains available. Problems emerge when the initial entree proves unsatisfactory. Certain passengers have documented being informed they must still remit the $5 charge for a replacement dish. This constitutes a service breakdown, and for numerous people, the concern centers less on the expense and more on losing something historically included in the cruise fare. Focus is also shifting toward Norwegian's private destination, Great Stirrup Cay. Despite incoming upgrades, a significant unfavorable modification begins March 1, 2026. Passengers possessing the free at sea onboard beverage package can no longer utilize it at the island location. A distinct drink package must be purchased instead, with bookings opening January 1, 2026. Fundamental non-alcoholic options like water, iced tea, juices, and lemonade remain complimentary. However, alcoholic beverages and specialty drinks on shore require either purchasing the new island-exclusive package or individual per-drink payment. This modification has caused many cruisers to feel they're being charged twice, since their shipboard package becomes worthless upon reaching the cruise line's own island. Room service policies are likewise transforming. Most principal cruise lines continue offering complimentary continental breakfast, though luxury operators frequently provide all-day service. Norwegian, conversely, adds a delivery charge, approximately $4.95 for breakfast and reaching $12.99 later daily. Some passengers have even documented additional charges when requesting replacements for cold meals. Recent voyages have introduced restrictions on delivery quantities: 1 hot and 1 cold dish per person for breakfast, and 2 hot dishes per person throughout the remaining day, all covered under one delivery fee. Though relatively minor, these limitations represent another service reduction. Service cutbacks are being connected to sustainability campaigns as well. Passengers have observed cabins lacking top sheets, featuring only a duvet and fitted sheet, and received explanations that this reflects new policy. These subtle modifications diminish the premium on-board experience. Additionally, Royal Caribbean is raising childcare costs at its Adventure Ocean program. The late-night session spanning 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. will increase from $10 to $15 hourly per child. In 2005, identical service cost $6 per hour. While inflation explains partial increases, families with multiple children utilizing the program regularly will notice the financial impact. Number 3. The misleading comprehensive package concept. Let's discuss a pattern gradually eroding the fundamental concept of an all-inclusive cruise experience. Virgin Voyages and Princess Cruises enthusiasts should pay particular attention to these fundamental modifications. Initially, Virgin Voyages, the company that genuinely disrupted the industry through its single price includes nearly everything approach. That approach is evolving. Their most significant selling feature for many passengers, the included gratuities, has been eliminated. Gratuities now appear as a separate charge costing $20 per person daily if prepaid, or $22 if settled on board. For a week-long cruise, that's an additional $140 to $150 per person. The cherished no-tipping, no-surprises philosophy that characterized Virgin simplicity has officially concluded. That's not the sole modification. Commencing October 7, 2025, Virgin is unveiling a completely new fare framework called Voyage Fare Choices. Rather than one straightforward inclusive price, you'll now select among 3 levels: Base, Essential, and Premium. The base fare maintains the lowest cost but provides restricted flexibility and fewer reservation benefits. Essential incorporates faster Wi-Fi, prioritized dining reservation access, and marginally more flexible cancellation conditions. Premium encompasses premium Wi-Fi, priority reservations, extra onboard credit, and maximum overall flexibility. Virgin maintains this change enhances pricing transparency, but numerous devoted passengers feel it transforms what was formerly an elegantly uncomplicated product into something more convoluted and indistinguishable from competing cruise lines. Turning to Princess Cruises, their modification may appear favorable initially. They're reducing cruise fares. Nevertheless, there's a considerable caveat. Princess has established non-refundable deposits as the standard booking choice. Refundable deposits remain obtainable, but they now accompany higher fares. The positive aspect: non-refundable fares typically provide both reduced overall pricing and smaller deposit requirements. While this isn't unprecedented within the industry, Royal Caribbean and Celebrity have implemented this for years. It represents a major transformation for Princess, which historically took pride in accommodating booking policies. Travel professionals suggest this strategy could diminish placeholder reservations and release cabins for cruisers prepared to commit. For typical travelers, however, it necessitates greater certainty regarding plans before providing payment. The all-inclusive, adaptable character of cruising is subtly yielding to a more segmented, fine-print-dependent approach. Number 4. Exclusive destinations at premium prices. Let's address what may constitute the single most debated subject in cruising currently: the substantial investment in private islands and exclusive locations. Cruise lines assert this entirely concerns enhancing guest experiences. While genuinely exciting developments exist, several modifications are generating substantial discussion among cruisers. First, the positive developments. Norwegian Cruise Line is making a massive investment in Great Stirrup Cay, developing what appears to be among their most significant upgrades historically. Summer 2026 brings a 6-acre water park featuring 19 water slides, a lazy river, and completely new dining and bar facilities. They're constructing a new pier and dock anticipated for completion before 2025 concludes, a welcome improvement for anyone exhausted by tendering back and forth to shore. This alone will substantially accelerate and simplify island access. However, as typical, there's a complication. As previously mentioned, starting March 1, 2026, the free at sea package becomes invalid here. Consequently, while enjoying those new slides, you'll be purchasing drinks either individually or through the new island-specific package. Now regarding Royal Caribbean's new Royal Beach Clubs. Clarification is essential. These aren't complimentary private islands like Perfect Day at Coco Cay. These are premium paid daily experiences, more comparable to upscale excursions. The inaugural location will be Royal Beach Club Paradise Island in Nassau, Bahamas, opening in 2026. Recent Nassau visitors have likely noticed the construction across the harbor. It's quite conspicuous. Guests must purchase day passes anticipated to cost approximately $170 per person for an all-inclusive package with food and beverages. Then summer 2026 introduces Royal Beach Club Santorini in Greece. Day passes are already appearing online for roughly $280 per adult, though frequent promotions reduce that closer to $200. Children are accommodated with lower pricing as well. Finally, late 2026 sees Royal Beach Club Mexico's debut along the West Coast. These destinations will undoubtedly be spectacular, but criticism is substantial and clear. Many cruisers assert that after investing thousands for a cruise, they refuse to spend another $170 to $300 per person for what they characterize as artificial beach clubs. They cruise to encounter genuine culture and history, not manufactured resort atmospheres. What's your perspective? Are these premium destinations cruising's future or simply another expensive deviation from what makes travel meaningful? This divisive topic intrigues me. Do you believe this represents a positive industry direction? Number 5. The unexpected cruise tax increase. Hidden cruise taxation, now for a modification I believe we can universally agree is quite unfavorable and one easily overlooked when making cruise reservations. We're addressing increasing tourist taxes and emerging environmental charges quietly impacting your finances significantly in 2026. Let's begin with the most substantial one, Hawaii. Commencing January 1, 2026, Hawaii will institute a completely new cruise passenger tax. This isn't some insignificant port charge. It's approximately a 14% tax on your fare portion for days your vessel is docked at Hawaiian ports. Cruise lines including Norwegian and Disney have already begun alerting guests about increased expenses, potentially ranging anywhere from $50 to $500 per person depending on the itinerary. One cruiser even documented that this new tax added over $600 to their 7-day Hawaii cruise for 2 passengers. For many, that's an absolute deal-breaker. This new tax supposedly funds environmental and tourism initiatives. However, it's so substantial that the cruise industry through CLIA, Cruise Lines International Association, has initiated a federal lawsuit contending it violates maritime law. The outcome remains uncertain, but Hawaii cruise planners should definitely incorporate this expense into budgets. Hawaii isn't isolated. Globally, tourist taxes are escalating. In Mexico, a new non-resident tourism tax introduced in 2025 is increasing again in 2026 from $5 to $10 per person depending on the port. Be aware it's not consistently included in your fare. Multiple cruisers have confirmed observing it added subsequently as a separate line item on their onboard account following a port stop. In Greece, the cruise visitor tax continues, charged per person per port and varies seasonally, approximately €20 in summer and €4 in winter. In Amsterdam, the day tourist tax ranges between €11 and €14. Even the U.S. Virgin Islands is raising its port fee by roughly $3 per passenger. Individually, these may seem minimal, but collectively, these hidden expenses are quietly transforming what constitutes an affordable cruise vacation. While those taxes appear listed on your bill, Another set of modifications will prove equally painful, the concealed kind. Number 6. Environmental regulations, elevated expenses. And if you believed that was everything, reconsider. Another wave of significant modifications is arriving in 2026 that you might not notice when initially booking your cruise, but you will definitely experience them financially. We're addressing new environmental regulations and their accompanying hidden costs. Commencing in January 2026, new environmental regulations are implementing across Europe and additional regions. The European Union is expanding its emission control zones, requiring ships to transition to cleaner, more expensive, low-sulfur fuels or alternative fuels like LNG. While this benefits the planet tremendously, the reality is operating under these new rules is extremely expensive for cruise lines. Companies like MSC, Royal Caribbean, and Carnival are investing millions into greener technology. But guess who assists in financing it? Correct, us passengers. We should anticipate seeing additional so-called fuel surcharges or new environmental fees quietly incorporated into the taxes and fees section of your cruise fare. This hidden expense is becoming progressively common. It extends beyond fuel considerations. Ports themselves are strengthening their regulations. Starting in 2026, several popular destinations, including Venice, Santorini, Dubrovnik, and parts of Alaska, will be enforcing strict daily restrictions on cruise passenger numbers. In certain cases, like Cannes, France, mega ships transporting over 5,000 passengers will be prohibited entirely. What are the implications for you? Several of your preferred itineraries might change. Cruise lines are already redirecting ships and substituting iconic ports with less popular alternatives. Therefore, while these environmental improvements and port restrictions appear progressive on paper, for us cruisers, they're converting into hidden expenses and reduced destination options. You might ultimately pay more for an itinerary that doesn't even incorporate the port you initially wanted to visit. It's a complicated matter and truly prompts reflection. Would you willingly pay somewhat more for a more environmentally friendly cruise, or do you feel cruise lines should absorb more of these expenses themselves? Therefore, 2026 is introducing major cruising modifications, some beneficial, some expensive. Now I'm interested in hearing from you. Which of these 2026 modifications excites you most? And which one concerns you most? Share your thoughts in the comments. If this video proved helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for additional straightforward cruise advice. Thanks for watching, and feel free to explore another video right here.